me strength, I need you. Oh Allah, give me strength, I need your guidance. I need your guidance.
وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. أعوذ بالله صدق الله العظيم.
صلوا على الحبيب صلى الله تعالى على محمد صلى الله عليه صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وسلم عليك يا حبيب الله صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وسلم عليك يا حبيب اللہ. دکھوں نے جو گھیرا ہے تو درود پڑھو، جو حاضری کی تمنا تو درود پڑھو، جو حاضری کی تمنا تو درود پڑھو. کیا بات مدینے کی کہ ساری دنیا کھاتی ہے خیرات مدینے کی. صلی اللہ علیہ رسول اللہ وسلم علیک یا حبیب اللہ. اذن طیبہ مجھے سرکار مدینہ دے دو. اذن طیبہ میرے آقا، اذن طیبہ میرے آقا، اذن طیبہ مجھے سرکار مدینہ دے دو. لے چلے مجھے کو جو طیبہ وہ سفینہ دے دو. اذن طیبہ، اذن طیبہ مجھے سرکار مدینہ دے دو. اذن طیبہ مجھے سرکار یار مدینہ دے دو، لے چلے مجھ کو جو طیبہ سفینہ دے دو، یاد طیبہ میں تڑپنے کا کرینہ دے دو، یاد طیبہ میں تڑپنے کا کرینہ دے دو، چشم ترسو سے جگر شاہ مدینہ دے دو، چشم ترسو سے جگر شاہ مدینہ دے دو، چار یاروں کا تمہیں واسطہ دیتا ہوں شہاں، چار یاروں کا تمہیں واسطہ دیتا ہوں شہاں، اپنا غم مجھ کو شہنشاہ مدینہ دے دو، اپنا غم مجھ کو شہنشاہ مدینہ دے دو، اذن طیبہ مجھے سرکار مدینہ دے دو، وقت آخر ہے چلی جان رسول اکرم، وقت آخر ہے چلی جان رسول اکرم، ایک جھلک ہے، ایک جھلک ہے میرے سلطان مدینہ دے دو، ایک جھلک ہے میرے سلطان مدینہ دے دو، کثرت مال کی آفت سے بچا کر آقا، کثرت مال کی آفت سے بچا کر آقا، اپنے عطا کو الفت کا خزینہ دے دو، اپنے عطا کو الفت کا خزینہ دے دو، بزن طیبہ مجھے سرکار مدینہ دے دو، لے چلے مجھے کو جو طیبہ وہ سفینہ دے دو، حسن طیبہ مجھے سرکار مدینہ دے دو، على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين. The Prophet ﷺ said, من صلى علي صلاة واحدة صلى الله عليه عشرة. That whoever sends salat upon me once, Allah Azza wa Jal will bestow him with 10 mercies. صلوا على الحبيب صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. The Prophet ﷺ also said that أفضل العمل النية الصادقة, that the best deed is a rightful intention. The best deed is a truthful intention. So prior to the bayan, let's try to make some good intentions, that you will listen to the whole bayan to gain the knowledge of Islam. And during the bayan, you will sit in a respectful manner and in such a way that you will not get lazy. You will listen to the bayan in order to rectify yourselves, and whatever you hear or learn from the bayan, you will try to convey it to others. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. With countless thanks of Allah and by His favor, we are blessed to see the month of Ramadan again. And when the month of Ramadan arrives upon us, it brings mercy, forgiveness, and blessings. And Huzur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam stated something about Ramadan. He said that if my ummah knew what Ramadan was, my ummah would long for it to last the entire year. In this bayan, I want to discuss the excellences and importance of this month and try to discuss on some ways that we can spend this Ramadan, and alongside many other beneficial points of discussion. So let's make some good niyats in order to gain the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jalla. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There once was a story of a truthful shepherd. Sayyidina Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu anhu was traveling with his fellows, and when they got hungry, they stopped somewhere in order to eat. When they sat down a dining mat, a shepherd walked by them, and Abdullah bin Umar, he offered him, the shepherd, to grab some food. Now, the shepherd, he was fasting, so he said to Abdullah bin Umar that I cannot take this, I am fasting. And Abdullah bin Umar, he said that, are you fasting in this heat, in such heat, and you're also hurting the sheep? He said, Wallahi, I'm only fasting in order to compensate for my previous days. So Abdullah bin Umar, he wanted to test the piety of the shepherd. And the first question he asked was, why don't you take one of those sheep and slaughter it and eat it? And he said, I cannot do this because these sheep, these aren't mine. And after that, he began to test him again. He said that take one of these sheep, eat them, and just lie to your master, say that a wolf ate one of them. Now, the shepherd, he said that I cannot do this because I know Allah is watching. And when Abdullah bin Umar, he returned to Madinah, he was surprised on the piety of this shepherd. So what he did as a reward, he freed all of them and he gave it to them as a gift. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Just look at the unshakable belief of this shepherd, that when he was encouraged to do a form of trickery, he disobeyed and left that trickery. And he thought to himself, Allah is watching. And if only we thought to ourselves like this, that whenever shaitan, he would try to tempt us to do anything, or we get any urge to disobey Allah Azza wa Jal, we leave it and we say that I can't do this because Allah Azza wa Jal is watching. And on the temptation of shaitan, I actually want to mention a hadith mentioned in Tirmizi, where it says, إِذَا كَانَ أَوَّلُ لَيْلَةٍ مِنْ شَهْرِ رَمَضَانَ صُفِّدَتِ الشَّيَاطِينُ وَمَرَضَةُ الْجِنِّ. That when the first night of Ramadan enters upon you, the shayateen will be shackled, and so will be then the jinn will be restrained. Now, there's a difference of opinion regarding this. The first one is that the ulama say that Iblis himself is restrained and the minions are all out. And the second group of ulama, they say that um, uh, that the shayateen, his effect will become less. That the temptations that come to us will be reduced. That even though there's a difference of opinion, the point that we can take from here is that the temptations are reduced. So in Ramadan, you won't find yourself getting that indecency to sin as in the other months. Allah has restrained those in Ramadan. And even outside of Ramadan, Allah has also given you the power to disobey shaitan. It says in the Quran, إِنَّ عِبَادِي لَيْسَ لَكَ عَلَيْهِمْ سُلْطَانٌ إِلَّا مَنِ اتَّبَعَكَ مِنَ الْغَاوِينَ. Indeed, you do not have any control over my bondsmen except those misguided ones who follow you. So now you have the power yourself to restrain those shayateen, to shackle them, to metaphorically shackle them by disobeying them. And if you truly recognize the blessings of Allah, you won't find that indecency in yourself to knowingly sin, whether that be a major sin or a minor sin. So while you are sustained with shukr and in Ramadan, the temptations are reduced even more. Allah Azza wa Jal pulls them further back. So while you are sustained with shukr and zikr of Allah, because of the act you are fasting, it increases your gratitude towards Allah Azza wa Jal. And when you think about it, you say, oh, these temptations, they're gone. I'm not going to sin anymore. But you say that Jannah is practically there. I can attain Jannah. But the Prophet ﷺ said that the reason we fall short of Jannah is not because of the lack of good deeds, but rather because of the inability to get out of our own way. Now what this means is that the path to Jannah is Sirat al-Mustaqim. Now, what we have to do is that we have to make sure that we won't make a detour anywhere else. We don't make a stop, do a sin over here, do a sin over there. We have to make sure that we keep on going to Sirat al-Mustaqim. Now, in Ramadan, we can't blame the influences now because the ways that the influences have been reduced in the month of Ramadan, they will not be reduced in any other month. So back to the hadith, it further states, وَغُلِّقَتْ أَبْوَابُ النَّارِ فَلَمْ يُفْتَحْ مِنْهَا بَابٌ, that the gates of hell will be closed such that there will not be a single gate. Not a single gate will be opened. You don't need to be tempted. These sins that we do, they are just leftovers if you think about it. Meaning that no one necessarily picks up a new sin in Ramadan. They just do the sins that they were already doing in the previous months. And you don't need to, now a person might think to himself that, how do I get rid of these sins? Do I do 20, 60, 80 rak'ah nafil? You don't have to do this. This isn't necessary. Umar bin Abdul Aziz once said that taqwa is not by fasting one day and by praying the night. It's not by mixing between both of them. But taqwa is leaving what Allah Azza wa Jal has made haram and doing what Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala made farz. Tarkul ma'asi, leaving the sins. Before doing a bunch of nafil acts, try to properly kick out the old habits. And everything after tarkul ma'asi, leaving the bad sins, is just ihsan. The temptations have been reduced, so try to get rid of those bad habits and leave them behind. After that, in the hadith, it says, وَفُتِّحَتْ أَبْوَابُ الْجَنَّةِ فَلَمْ يُغْلَقْ مِنْهَا بَابٌ, that the gates of paradise will be opened such that not one of them will be closed. Now, what does this mean? There is a specific gate of Jannah called Babur Rayyan. And this Babur Rayyan is for the people who fast and those who excel in their fast. It will be said to them that where are the people who used to fast? They will stand and no one will enter except them. Once they enter the gate, it will be closed and no one will enter after them. And essentially, the Prophet ﷺ said that during Ramadan, all of the gates will be calling upon you. Our pious predecessors have commented on this by saying the usual good deeds that you do are rewarded unusually. So the good deeds that we already do right now in Ramadan, they will be double, triple, quadruple. And Ibrahim Nakhi, rahmatullahi alayhi, explains that in Ramadan, fasting for one day is greater than keeping 1,000 fasts. Saying Subhanallah once is greater than reciting it 1,000 times in other months. And the unit of one salah is greater than performing 1,000 units in other months. So now there are two things. You have the power to do more ibadat and more good deeds throughout the whole entire year. And on top of that, you're also getting rewarded with huge amounts. So essentially, the only thing that might hold you back is your bad habits. Think of it as like a rocky road. Now, the bad habits you had are a rocky road. Now, once you get rid of that rocky road, you keep on going, then it will be a straight, flat road that you can do whatever you want. You can do how many ever good deeds you can. Now, you're wondering, like, what good deeds can we do during Ramadan? Let's look at how the Prophet ﷺ would prepare for Ramadan. Al-Mu'mineen, Sayyidatuna Aisha Siddiqa radiallahu anha relates that whenever the month of Ramadan arrived, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam readied himself for worship and would not lay on his blessed bed for the whole entire month. She further said that whenever the month of Ramadan arrived, the blessed complexion of Huzur sallallahu alaihi wasallam would change. He then proceeded to engage in salah and beseech extensively in the dua with fear of Allah remaining prevalent upon him. During Ramadan, we should all overcome ourselves with the fear of Allah. Offer many nafal salah along our front. Make dua for Allah. Make dua to Allah for the betterment for ourselves in the dunya and the akhirah. And we should try to keep every fast and do zikr in any way that we possibly can. Whether it be subhanallah, alhamdulillah, astaghfirullah, la ilaha. And most importantly, I cannot emphasize this enough. To teach me. Alhamdulillah, Dawat Islami had 80 departments. devotees of the Messenger who study in Madrasatul Madinah also have the opportunity to learn huge amount of knowledge. Alhamdulillah. In Madrasatul Madinah for adults, the learning schedule also includes the book of laws of Salah, which discusses the topic of wuzu, ghusl, and funeral Salah. Adding to this, students also learn according to the Sunnah and how to conduct dars at home. They listen to lectures of explaining the obligatory branches of knowledge, and they also memorize dua. Quran totally for free of cost. You too should summon up the courage and personally join Madrasatul Madinah for adults and encourage other Islamic brothers to do the same. May Allah Azza wa Jal grant us the ability to recite the Quran correctly. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us the power to overcome our bad habits and replace them with good ones. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ.
صلوا على الحبيب صلى الله تعالى على محمد عليه الصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين محبت اپنی گمایا الہی نہ پاؤں میں اپنا بتایا الہی محبت میں اپنی گمایا الہی نہ پاؤں میں اپنا بتایا رہو مستوں بے خود میں تیری ودا میں رہو مستوں بے خود میں تیری ودا جام ایسا پلایا الہی پلا جام ایسا پلایا الہی محبت میں اپنی گمایا الہی نہ پاؤں میں اپنا بتایا الہی میں بیکار باتوں سے بچ کر ہمیشہ میں بیکار باتوں سے بچ کر ہمیشہ میں بیکار باتوں بچ کر ہمیشہ کروں تیری حمد و ثنا یا الہی کروں تیری حمد و ثنا یا الہی محبت میں اپنی گمایا الہی نہ پاؤں میں اپنا بتایا الہی میرے عشق بہتے رہے کاش ہر دم میرے عشق بہتے رہے کاش ہر دم میرے عشق بہتے رہے کاش ہر دم تیرے خوف سے یا خدا یا الہی تیرے خوف سے یا خدا یا الہی محبت میں اپنی گمایا الہی نہ پاؤں میں اپنا بتایا تیرے خوف سے تیرے در سے ہمیشہ تیرے خوف سے تیرے در سے ہمیشہ میں تھر تھر رہوں کانپتا یا الہی میں تھر تھر رہوں کانپتا یا الہی محبت میں اپنی گمایا الہی نہ پاؤں میں اپنا بتایا الہی میرے دل سے دنیا کی الفت مٹا دے میرے دل سے دنیا کی الفت مٹا دے میرے دل سے دنیا کی الفت مٹا دے مجھے اپنا عاشق بنایا الہی مجھے اپنا عاشق بنایا الہی محبت میں اپنی گمایا الہی نہ پاؤں میں اپنا بتایا الہی تو اپنی اپنی ولایت کی خیرات دے دے میرے غوث کا واسطہ یا الہی میرے غوث کا واسطہ یا الہی گناہوں نے میری کمر توڑ ڈالی گناہوں نے میری کمر توڑ ڈالی گناہوں نے میری کمر توڑ ڈالی میرا حشر میں ہوگا کیا یا الہی میرا حشر میں ہوگا کیا یا الہی بنا دے مجھے نیکوں کا صدقہ بنا دے مجھے نیکوں کا صدقہ گناہوں سے ہر دم بچایا الہی گناہوں سے ہر دم بچایا الہی میرا ہر عمل بس تیرے واسطے ہو میرا ہر عمل بس تیرے واسطے ہو کر اخلاص ایسا عطا یا الہی کر اخلاص ایسا عطا یا الہی عبادت میں گزرے میری زندگانی عبادت میں گزرے میری زندگانی کرم ہو کرم یا خدا یا الہی کرم ہو کرم یا خدا یا الہی مسلمان عطار تیری عطا سے مسلمان ہم سب ہاں تیری عطا سے مسلمان عطار تیری عطا سے ہو ایمان پر فاطمہ یا الہی ہو ایمان بما یا الہی محبت میں اپنی گما یا الہی نہ پاؤں میں اپنا پتا Everyone goes there for his